welcome to the new Mila Academy video. My name is Sandra and I'm here today to talk about Apple HomeKit. HomeKit is a smart home system designed for iOS devices. Today we're going to be showing you different types of automations and how to create scenes, how to add devices to the Apple HomeKit. So we have some products from Eve, from Ring, we've got Philips Hue light bulbs, we've got the Apple HomePod, some cool light strips just to show you some automations. So we're going to start off by checking if your customer actually has the HomeKit app on their phone or iPad. And you can easily see that by opening the phone and looking for the home icon. All you need to do is click on that and start adding accessories. Maybe the customer already added some accessories to it already, and then you can work from there. What we're going to do next is we need to make sure that the customer has switched on their iCloud and also their keychain, otherwise Apple HomeKit will not work. The app will guide you through what permissions are required. So as you can see on my phone at the moment, I've got some devices added already. We've got the Eve Air Quality, Eve Room, we've got the lights, we've got the door sensor, which is telling me that my door is open at the moment. We've got some unresponsive devices, and we also have the HomePod. The great thing about the HomePod is that you can control the scenarios or scenes with your voice. That's the great benefit of Apple HomePod. You can add different types of devices to it and then control it by voice. For example, saying, "Hey Siri, I'm home," and then she will trigger the actions that you want. For example, you can ask Siri to switch the lights on, you can let her know that you're home, and then specific actions will be carried out based on what you've set up in the Apple HomeKit. Okay, so now we're going to add the Eve light strip here in front of me. What I need in order to be able to add the new accessory to the Apple HomeKit is the Apple HomeKit code. You can usually find it either on the box, in the box, or in this case it's in the manual, a little booklet. So I will open my HomeKit app, I will tap the plus sign, add accessory, and now you can see the camera's switched on and it's scanning. And now the HomeKit is searching for the accessory. Make sure that the accessory is plugged into the power, and also if you're experiencing problems, sometimes you just need to reset the device. Sometimes the customer tries to install it themselves and the light strip or the device is already set up and you're not able to add it. So it just might take a couple of seconds. Make sure that you're near the device as well, that the Bluetooth is enabled, and really important that you're on the Wi-Fi network, otherwise HomeKit will not work. So you can see the light strip has just connected. It gave me a little flash. So usually an accessory, especially like lights or cameras, will maybe blink once they're connected. So as you can see, I am now presented with the light strip. What I can do here is I can rename it. In this case, I'm okay with this, this name, and then I can assign it to a room. So that's pretty important when you're setting up scenarios. So you want to make sure that the scenarios, that the devices that you want to work together in an automation or the scene that you're going to create are assigned to the same room. So I'm going to pick living room, which is the only thing we have, and then hit done. So as you can see, the light strip has just shown up in my home screen. And this is how you add all of the devices. So just go one by one once the devices are installed and just add them to the HomeKit. Okay, so my automation is set up now. So we're going to go ahead and test it in real life now. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to create automations and then assign them to particular scenes. So the first thing that we want to do is create an automation. And what that means is that when a certain action is triggered, and that could be a sensor detecting something, there is a certain time of the day, or someone comes in or leaves the house, a certain action is triggered which will control all of the devices that you set up to perform a certain action. For example, switch the lights off when you leave the room, or turn them on, or start playing the music. So it just depends what your customer wants. So That's why it's important to have a conversation with your customer before you start setting everything up, so that you know what kind of habits they've got, what's really important to them. For example, you can set up the thermostat temperature to go down when the customer is leaving or a certain time of the day. So always ask these questions. So first I will show you how to create an automation, and then you assign it to a scene. So as you can see here at the bottom, I click on automation, create new, and here you're presented with different options. People leave, people arrive, time of day, and accessories controlled. So for example, when I switch the lights off, turn the music on. Or when a sensor detects something. So for example, the sensor realizes, okay, the window is open, let's turn down the heating or turn it off. So this one, in this example, we're going to show you an automation when a sensor is detecting something. So here we've got our living room door. Next. And when you want the automation to be triggered, when the door opens or closes. So I'm going to say open. You can select the times, so if it's during the night or it's during the day or specific times. So for example, maybe you don't want this action to be performed when I open the door at nighttime. But I'm going to leave it as any, and then people when I'm home or when I'm not home. Okay, I'm going to hit next. And here you're presented with the list of devices that you can add to this automation. So it can be your Apple TV, it can be thermostat, light bulbs, smart cameras, a bunch of things. So I'm going to select all of my lights and hit next. So as you can see, I can now decide what I want each device to do when this automation is triggered. So I want everything to either turn on or turn off, so I'm going to make sure that everything is switched off. And then done. Okay, so now I'm going to test the automation. Make sure to always test the automations and scenes and any triggers before you leave the customer's home. You want to make sure that the customer has that wow factor, that they can see that the automations you've created really work. It's a really cool moment to see the customers seeing how you've turned their home into a true smart home. So I'm going to switch all of the lights on now so that we can see if our automation works. So now they're switched on. So then when I open the door, let's hope that the lights switch off. Great, it worked. The great thing about automation is that you can also adjust the brightness of the lights, the temperature, everything is really customizable. So in order to do this, I can just press and hold and maybe adjust the brightness with the light switch. I can even change the colors. So now that we have our automation done, we want to assign it to a scene. So in order to add a new scene, you press the plus button and we add a scene. So you have a list of options of what kind of scenes are available. The great thing is that you can also create custom ones, and you can name it, for example, movie night. And then you add different accessories. So for this example, we're going to set it up for leave home. And we can just hit done. So as you can see, this leave home scene has been added to my home screen. So what I'll do is I'll now add this scene to my automation. Okay, and then select accessories and scenes, and I'm going to mark this scene to add it to our automation. Done. So now our scene has an automation. So when I leave home, which means when I open or close the door, this action will be triggered where all of the lights will be switched off. So now I'm going to tell you a little bit about the HomePod. So the HomePod is great for scenes and automations because you can trigger them by voice control. For example, I can say, hey Siri, movie night. and the lights will switch off, or depending on what you decided to set up for your customer. The great thing as well is that you can control each device separately with Siri. So for example, I can simply ask Siri, what is the temperature in the room that I'm currently in? So let's test it. Hey Siri, what's the temperature in the living room?
The living room temperature is 25 degrees Celsius.
Great. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video and you found it useful. We'd love to hear your feedback, and stay tuned for the next video.